What's up, everybody? How you guys doing tonight? So this is gonna be fun. We're gonna see if everything is running good. The volume's up and running. If you guys can hear me fine, let me know in the chat. Let me know where you guys are listening to and watching from tonight, and we'll get it going. All right, Lorelai's so excited. Look at this. So we'll see everybody coming in. So once I see you guys start posting where you're from, I could kind of get ready and launch this thing. Sorry, we're running a few minutes late tonight. I had a little audio I was working on. So all right, it looks like you got good audio on your end.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna run. All right, welcome to season 4 of the Gaining Fast on Memphis podcast. Each week we connect melodies and memories with fans, artists, and motivated individuals in and around the music community. I'm your host, Aaron Shriver. Tonight we are presented by our good friends over at Arlo Revolution. Cinematic wedding films, music videos, and promos. Find them at arlorevolution.com. And our on-screen sponsors, Art on a Higher Wire by Joelle. Original and custom artwork inspired by your life moments, treasured photos, and memories. You can find her all over Facebook. My good buddy Corey Oliphant and the Original Church Choir. Just an honor to have them each week as sponsors. And we continue to thank all of our sponsors for the growth of the show, guys. It's been awesome. We had like almost close to 300 downloads last week alone, which I'm pretty excited about to see where the show's been going. But if you guys are looking for ways to support the show, we talk about it every week. The link is in the show notes. But the heart of our show is our Patreon page. Tiers start just at $1. If you're looking to advertise with us, we still have room for 2 more on-screen sponsors. You can see your logo displayed on screen and in the show notes, and then heard back on the streaming side. My voice is cracked. I'm like a teenager again. Did you hear that? Man, I need some more water. Patreon is something you can't do. The next best way is to support the show is to like, share, review, and subscribe anywhere you're listening to it. If you could share it tonight, like it tonight. And then if you're listening back on the streaming side of things, remember, every Tuesday night we are live. Facebook, YouTube, you can interact with us, comment, ask questions. It's going to be some fun tonight. So I'm excited for this one. But if you guys can, if you have an iPhone, if you're an iPhone user and you have that Apple, I think it's like an Apple Podcast app. If you guys could jump over there and leave us a nice little 5-star review, it's always helped us great to get us back in the top 200. We've been there a couple times. I'd love to get back in there. So, all right, guys, quick little topics before we bring on our guest tonight. As we were just talking about our Patreon, we do have our monthly contest we are drawing for next week. And if you guys did not see, we announced next week's guest earlier today. Sunday, I attended an amazing event. Actually, we're rocking the shirt tonight. It was the 50 Egg Takeover, the Raise Rowdy on the Row. Rob Schneider from 50 Egg is joining us next Tuesday night. So going to be another amazing guest. So cannot wait for that one. But we are drawing for a winner next Tuesday. So make sure you guys get in there. It's going to be a good one. And another thing, if you guys are not following us on Instagram yet, go check it out. We did have to restart it a week ago just because the other one got hacked and some nasty shit happened. So I got rid of that one, and we are trying to rebuild this other one. So if you guys could follow us on Instagram, that'd be great. And yeah, I think that's everything. All that's stuff to do. All right, guys, let's see. So tonight we're going to welcome in singer-songwriter Ken Bryan. Ken was influenced by the likes of Eric Church, Keith Urban, and someone I learned of today when I was listening back on some stuff, Johnny Lang. So, which explains why he has some phenomenal guitar playing and his storytelling lyrics. But let's hear about Ken's journey from Kentucky to Nashville and what his future is going to hold. We're going to let him welcome in. Let's hope this volume works. Can you hear me, buddy?
We're good, man. How you doing?
All right. I'm doing good, man. Everything worked good. How you tonight, dude?
Dude, I'm doing just great, man. We just finished up rehearsals for the first time in over a year.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited, man. I've got in-ear rigs. I've got drums, drum mics, bass rigs, microphones, pedal boards in my living room.
Nothing went floating away at all, did it?
What'd you say?
Nothing went floating away at all, did it?
No, man, I'm on the high side. I bought a house on the high side, but dude, I've never been more excited about having my house full of gear and playing country music, man. I almost teared up when we played the first song today, just being so damn excited about being back and doing it.
Hell yeah. When are you back on the road?
We're going to be in North Vernon, Indiana, I guess next Friday. So we got Covered in Dirt coming out this week. And then we're going to be on the road, man. We're going to be in a place called the Underground. Funny enough, you go where your fans are, man. And for some odd reason, I got a lot of friends and fans in North Vernon, Indiana. So it's a little. We're playing a club so small that we had to bring our own PA system, man. But we've sold a shitload. We've sold a shitload of tickets, man. We're gonna pack out this little nowhere club, and it's gonna be fun, dude. I'm stoked about it.
So now with Sunday, was that your first day or first time playing for a while, or have you played a couple of these rounds before?
No, man, I probably played like 4 or 5 at now.
Okay.
I mean, just kind of, throwing your toe in it a little bit, just being like, go play. I think I've done Live Oak once or twice. I've done the listening room and a couple private gigs, and but that ain't the same, man. That ain't the same as the band turning up. That's just kind of teasing.
Getting you all geared up and ready though. So, well, let's start this off and let's throw this back, man, to your earliest music memory, dude. And you first, the first memory you can remember listening to music, what was your parents listening to, or what was the household like?
Man, my mom and dad they're classic rock people. I mean, my mom and dad are products of the late 60s and 70s and the early 80s, I guess. And, my dad, he had a killer record collection. I got most of it. And it's got, we got CCR and, Elton John and Jackson Brown and AC/DC and, the Beatles. I'm such a huge Beatles fan. I'm a Beatles nut, actually. But it was growing up, man. And I remember the moment I knew I wanted to play music, and it's funny you asked, is because I remember seeing Johnny Lang on Austin City Limits when I was like 7. So he was probably 17. I think he's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he was on Austin City Limits, and he was playing. I think Wander This World had just came out, and I think he was doing that. And I remember watching that and going, because I started playing guitar at like 5, and I remember watching that going, holy shit, man, this blew my mind. Like, you could do that, and he wasn't, and to me, he was still a kid. Like, hey, he's just a kid like me. So that's when I started woodshedding, man. I was the kid that sat in my room and played guitar for hours and hours and hours. And it gave me a hell of a foundation. Learning, because every kid, once they learn to play guitar, wants to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. They want to be Jimi Hendrix. And, I remember being like, that's what I wanted to be, a guitar player. And then you come to Nashville and get a little taste of it, and you realize that the guy that's busting tables is the baddest sumbitch you ever heard on guitar. And that's when I quickly learned that I need to focus on what I liked about the songs originally, and it was the music. Oh my God, there it is, dude. That's my first big show. I played with Corey Smith at Sky Pack.
Oh, dude, Corey Smith. That is awesome.
I was probably 18 there, probably 17, 18. I think I just gone to college. And
you were born what, 90?
90, yeah.
2008. Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. And I'm telling you, it's blown my mind. And but as a kid, man, I quickly figured out that the way you set yourself apart is songwriting and writing songs that people connect to. And it's been an endeavor that I don't think I'll ever be able to chase down and master. So, God, that's a funny picture. That was a fun fucking show, dude. I had a blast. Kid never been able to. I'd played bars. I'd played every bar in Bowling Green, Kentucky 5,000 times. And then I got to do that shit. That's so funny, man. I love it.
That is cool. What happened on your end? You're freaking out. My wife's looking at the sound.
Is it recording?
It should be. Why?
My timer is not decreasing.
Okay, well, we'll deal with that later.
It usually counts me down.
We'll figure it out.
I'm sorry. I have one job, and that's not to screw up. And
oh man, that is fine.
The recording timer isn't decreasing.
It should be increasing.
Okay, whatever. It's not changing.
I see it changing right now.
Okay.
Did you get a contact high?
No, that's not
so
the part.
What happened? I was like, oh my God,
dude.
Things
like that. It's funny, man. Anytime when you first start playing shows, you always forget how many times things have gone fucking wrong, man. So I mean, you play bars and your mic goes out or your guitar amp blows up or something happens, and But it's funny is because now when stuff happens, because it still happens all the time. You'll go somewhere and then your whole in-ear rig will go out, but dude, that's just. You're playing a show, man. And I think it's funny because I've had so much of that stuff happen that now when it happens, you learn to pivot, man. You're the guy that's pretty much seen everything. Oh man, that's an old ass picture too. That's out. That's EP number 1. That I was probably 20, 21 right there. Maybe
you started playing young. So I heard you're a big Nirvana fan. You're into garage rock. You're always practicing in the garage. So
yeah,
your first band is kind of rocking on the garage, man.
Yeah, dude. I forgot what was our name? Feud was the name of. We were hard rocking motherfuckers, man. It was
hell yeah.
Hey, we were just 13, 14, And we would get in my buddy's house because his mom worked nights. Then we would get in there and we would just crank our shit as loud as you possibly could and play like what I call it. Because I mean, shit, we're from Glasgow, Kentucky, so you can't cut the country out of it. But we would get in and play this like prog rock, Incubus, Johnny Lang, John Mayer, Tool mix, and it sounded like shit. But it was so much fun, man. Because I remember that's where I learned how to just hang and how to have a good time playing music and how to enjoy it, man. And
were you guys playing originals or was it covers?
Fuck yeah, dude. We were writing everything on the spot, dude.
That's some good shit, dude.
We had one of those. We didn't because we thought like we had it figured out. Because I had one of those four like those little voice recorders. So I'd set it in the middle of the room and we'd turn the PA up because we would record like 10 seconds and be like, okay, well the vocal's loud enough where you can hear the vocal over the band. So and then we just push record on our little handheld fucking recorder. And we would record and we thought we were cool as shit, man. We would put that in and be like, oh, this is our band. We're killing it. And we were dead. We were like, we're getting a record deal, dude. We're doing the thing.
So we went over your influences a little bit. We talked a little bit Johnny Lang. You're a huge, I heard you're a huge Church fan and a big influence with Church and Keith Urban and everything. What was your first taste of Eric Church? Like what song, where did you first see him or hear from him or where was it?
God, dude, I remember playing because I put myself through college playing bars, and that was kind of another thing that like teaches you, the show goes on no matter what, no matter somebody spilled a beer. I've kicked people off stage, literally kicked people off stage. I've seen my drummers fight people while I'm singing a fucking song. And I remember this bar we played at a bunch. I played it acoustic. And I remember this guy walked to me, he goes, "Hey man, you're pretty good, but you ever heard Eric Church?" I was like, and then dude, this was like, I mean, when did Carolina come out? 2000?
I would say 9 maybe.
Yeah. So I was 19. And he was like, "You ever heard Eric Church?" He's like, "You need to listen to Smoke a Little Smoke. Come out to my car." So during my break, I went out and he played this thing. And I remember the song came, bop, 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 and I was like, what the hell is this? This is so cool. I was like, I had been listening to White Bread Country because I was a Will Hoge fan, man. Like I was into that. Like I was into Will Hoge and Ryan Adams and like,
Corey Smith.
Corey, I mean, yeah, I listened to a little bit of Corey. I wasn't like a massive Corey fan. But I was going to open the show, son.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing Smoke a Little Smoke and going, hey man, there's something I like about it. And it really boiled down to, it was actually a bigger thought than just me liking that one song. As a kid, I was always drawn to uniquely identifiable artists, people that made their own stamp, people that made their own road. Elton John, the Beatles, Zeppelin, Springsteen. You go down the list of people. There are millions that tried to do it just like them after that, but they were uniquely identifiable, man. Nobody else had ever done that. And I remember hearing Smoke a Little Smoke, and I was like, yeah, that's something I've never heard before, man. And I became a fan after that. And then I dove in and learned more. I learned more and became a bigger fan. Like where she told me to go. That still probably might be my favorite Church song ever.
Yeah. Carolina has some deep cuts that are just phenomenal.
So great, dude. I could talk about that shit all day because I've spent so much time. I was a student. I remember walking into my mom's house after I moved to Nashville in 2013. And my mom, she'd listen to Eric Church, but I think, Drink in My Hand was like her, the one she'd heard. And I remember playing her songs like that and being like, Mom, I don't know how the hell you ever get that. Like songwriting. Because I was, I moved to town to write songs. I was like, I don't know how the hell you get that good. And I was like, this is the bar. Like, I just want to get to where I'm writing songs that are on this, in my mind, whatever this bar is, that's the bar I'm trying to get to. Holy shit, that's a blues jam somewhere. And dude, I've done a whole lot of blues jams.
I like to dig for pictures, dude.
Dude, that's you've done some digging, man. You brought a backhoe out.
Yeah, I like to dig some pictures.
And but man, that's set the bar. Like Chief set the bar for me. Carolina set the bar, and hey, no doubt, Chris, I love that, man. And it's funny. It's always been the bar I'm chasing. It's always going to be the bar I'm chasing, man. Those songs are always going to be the things that made me go, I'm going to beat, and a little arrogantly, but I think you got to do that. I think you got to say, I'm going to beat that record, this record. That's my goal every time I walk in and go, how the fuck can I write a collection of songs that I would say that stand up to Chief?
And I like how you said collection of songs because I always talk with different artists when I have them on the show. I'm definitely a fan of somebody that will make an album. Like Church always says, he makes albums and hopes they're singles. He doesn't make singles and hopes for an album. He does it the opposite. And right now it's so hard for me because he's doing this whole like release a song a month or 2 songs a month right now off the new stuff coming out next month. And I don't listen to it. I can't, dude. I want to hear, because I know Church is the guy that makes the albums like from front to back. You got to hear the whole project. So I got to hear that whole project for the first time, dude. George Hatfield in the chat is asking if you had any Church, I'm assuming Church favorites that might have never got released of his.
Oh man, that never released with singles.
Yeah, something maybe that was.
Dude. I mean, shit. Let me look, dude, because I'll do some digging. I'll do some. Let me pull it up.
Well, so why are you thinking about that? And we're talking. So just talking about Church and going into maybe more of his songwriters. So just knowing, for one, Jonathan Singleton got the tour for a while with Church, which was awesome. But Casey Beathard, Michael Heaney, Jeff Hyde, who is a member of Church. These are all guys and names that you get to work with now.
Yep.
You're in the music industry. Mm-hmm. For you, how full circle did it become when you got to sit down to write with guys like Casey Beathard, knowing that he was the guy that has the only song, well, up till now, has the only song that Church ever recorded that he didn't write?
Yeah, man, it's interesting, and I feel like me coming into town again. That same conversation with my mom that night when I was saying, "Hey, this is the bar for me." I remember saying, you know, these guys are the biggest, baddest. I mean, I remember putting Casey on a pedestal, man. Like Casey Beathard was stepped down from God, you know. I mean, and I remember thinking, like, how are all these guys just so great? And Jonathan, I mean, like, how are all these guys just such great songwriters? And I was just a fan and a student of what they did. And when I finally got in to be in the room, I felt like I knew these guys already, which is weird because I just knew Casey's catalog from front to back. And it's fun, man. And you know, you still got to get in and get some work done. You still got to get in and write a song because that's the only reason you're there. You got lucky and you finally wrote yourself into that room. And actually, I met Driver. How I met with Jeff Hyde was I got set up with a write with Driver, and I was just such a big fan. Obviously, I knew exactly who it was. And, you know, we got together and we wrote this song, and funny enough, favorite song of mine that never got released. This is definitely one of them I'm talking about. And Driver and I wrote this song, and we worked on it. He was like, "Hey man, I really think Hyde might dig this." And I had never met Jeff. I didn't know anything about him, you know, as far as like his personality. And Driver's like, he texted me that day, and I was stoked. He's like, "Hey, Hyde loves that. Let's write." And for me, man, holy shit! Like, I'm getting to ride with Jeff Hyde and Driver Williams at the same right. What? Come on! And so stoked. And I get in, and Jeff can't be he can't be a nicer guy, man. And we wrote this song. It's called "Better Than Me." Honestly, you could probably dig deep and find it. I think the demo somehow got leaked somewhere. I think it might be on YouTube. I don't know, but
Church fans find things. It's wild.
Dude, this song, I don't know how the hell this demo got leaked. And I had people send it to me every once in a while, but I think it's called "Better Than Me." You can YouTube it. You can find it somewhere. It's me, Jeff Hyde, and Driver. And, but we all became friends. And, you know, Jeff and I became, very frequent co-writers. And, I wrote on my first EP, Beer in a Bottle, I wrote with Jeff. And, you know, there is not a better songwriter. There's not somebody that loves to flip a hook more. You know, Jeff is definitely a top tier songwriter. He's a top tier guy. And, you know, I'm just so blessed. Every time I get in the room with Jeff, it's a great time. I'm really, really, really blessed to be able to do it.
And I love it because he's so quiet and he's so hidden. Like, he reminds me of Wilson from Home Improvement from back in the day. He always was behind the hat or hide behind the fence. But the things he says and does is just phenomenal. Dude's just a genius whenever he opens his mouth. Dude, like, if you guys have not heard his was it Norman Rockwell World? Have you not heard that album yet, dude? It's just phenomenal, dude.
He really is. He's one of a kind, man. I've had a lot of good days with Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, it's been a fun time just knowing him and watching him with Church, man. Because I mean, that's one thing I love about Church. He's had the same band as one guy. I mean, he's added Joanna over the years, but he's always had the same guy, so it's always been the same feel and everything else. So let's get off all that. And with Singleton, with working with him, I want to know your first single, or the minute you started working with him after. So as an engineer, how you got hooked up with him, right? A buddy.
Yeah, a friend of ours, Billy Decker, hooked us up. Billy just knew I was a massive Jonathan fan, and I think he sent Jonathan a couple demos that we had kind of done together. And
Nice.
Jonathan called me out of nowhere and said, "Hey man, you want to write?" And of course, I picked up the phone as a random 615 number, and I was like, "Who the hell is this?" I answered the phone, and I'll never forget. I was in my gray Jeep with 130,000 miles. I picked up. He said, "Hey man, it's Jonathan Singleton. What's up?" It's like, holy shit! I remember setting the phone like that and be like. And then I was like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Hey, Decker linked this up, blah blah blah. You want to write?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, man, let's do it soon." So we hopped on like 2 weeks later, and I walked in with the idea called "That's Where I've Been Going Since You're Gone," and it ended up being we wrote it that day, and he called me about 2 weeks later and was like, "Hey, I really like this song, and let's do it again." So we ended up demoing it and hanging out, and he had just signed Luke Combs a few months before that, and next thing you know, about a year later, man, we were signing a deal, and I was his second signing. It's been Nashville works magic every once in a while, and I will honestly say, Nashville it shined just a little bit of magic on me, man, and allowed me to meet up with Jonathan and Tally over at 50 Egg, and it's been one of the greatest blessings of my life.
Oh, dude, and it's awesome to see because anybody he works with, you can always tell like his sound, and you can see that he's brought the best out of you, dude. Just listening to you. So I haven't seen you full band yet. I've only seen the acoustic, but just hearing you play and everything else, and that's why I really like. I had a couple people with me Sunday. I leaned over. I'm like, this guy reminds me of like 2006, 2007 church.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just like the way you're playing and just the style of your songwriting, dude. Yeah, someone talking about Sometimes She Stays. We're definitely going to talk about that because that is probably, dude, that song is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
But yeah, with all of that, and you got a cut coming up on Luke Combs' album. On his next
I do, man.
Dude, man.
Looks like Mike Blamer. I'm sorry, is it Blamer?
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, in Fulcher.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so Ray and I have been buddies a long time, Mike. And, Ray and I have written, God, I don't know how many. We've written a shitload of songs. I've had cuts on his record. He's just a hell of a guy. And funny enough, we just got, damn, I wish I still had that jacket. There was a jacket you just posted. I lost on an airplane. Every time I see it, I'm like, son of a bitch. But Ray and I, man, we've been buddies for so long. And we wrote a song a couple years ago. And he played it for Luke Combs. And Luke loved it. And they were in Montana here recently. And they got together. And James McNair and Luke all sat down. And they kind of wrapped it up and put a bow on it and made it sound real pretty. And it's gonna be on the new Luke record. And I could not be more proud, man. Luke is, as far as young guys that are out there doing the thing, Luke's a real deal songwriter. He's a real deal guy. I've known him for years now, and I'm so proud to be a part of the record now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Ken and Ray together would be amazing, dude.
We've been talking about it, doing a tour. Let's just do a tour.
Just seeing all you guys, all the 58 guys from on Sunday, dude, the songs, just one after another. How was it? I had to ask this one because this sitting there. I mean, I had a couple questions that popped in my head. Following Tyler Braden, how was that, dude? Because that dude could sing.
He's a great singer, man. He really is, and I think that's, if some people get scared about stuff like that, oh man, I don't want to follow that, or I don't want to go before that. Like, man, the prerequisite to being in Nashville and being in 50 Eggs, you gotta have some fucking goods, dude. You know, you know what I mean? And like Tyler's great, man. Ashland's great. Yeah. Rob Snyder is great. They're not good. They're fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and, dude, just
and I think the trick about it, man, is you don't worry about going out. Man, my job is to sing my songs my way. And I'm a stylistic singer, man. Like I sing the way I sing. You know, it ain't. Mm-hmm. It's not. I'm not Chris Stapleton, but I'm not this guy either. I'm Kenton Bryant, man. That's all I've ever wanted to be. All I ever want to write is Kenton Bryant songs. I want to sing Kenton Bryant songs like Kenton Bryant. That's, and that's all I can do, because if I'm trying to beat Tyler Braden, I've already fucked up.
Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because you could be the best of you. I mean, because no one's going to beat you again. I mean, as long as you master that. So for sure. But dude, yeah, just watching all that, that whole set though, everybody, even the last round was just, God. Did you stick around for a little bit and watch any of the last round?
Man, I stayed around for one song. I have a 5-year-old little girl, and she told me when I left, she said, "Daddy, make sure you come give me a kiss when you get home." Dude. And I was like, my wife told me she had just gone to bed, and I was like, man, I better get on home. So I busted it back home, and I think she was just asleep when I got home, but I was able to give her a kiss goodnight. I spend too many nights on the road when things are normal, and I've spent a whole lot of time in a van when I would have probably much rather been hanging out with a little girl. And so anytime I can get in there with her, that's the first thing I go run to.
Is that your only kid so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, so it's fun.
Oh man,
definitely. But hey, congrats on dad life, man. It's just I love it, dude. Just everything the kids do and watch them grow up and stuff.
Me too, man.
Did you ever plan on maybe if you go on longer tours, bringing the wife and kid with?
Man, we're still in a van. You know, I'm still what did you call a baby act? You know, I'm still playing little bitty rock clubs. You know,
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's little bitty rock clubs, and eventually, man, I would love to, but also I'm very cognizant of the way I grew up in small town Glasgow, Kentucky. There was nothing cool about Glasgow, Kentucky, and that's the way it ought to be, man. When you're a kid, you need to be a kid. You don't need to be worrying about hopping on a Gulfstream or hopping in a bus. And I think, you know, if we're blessed enough where we're able to do that, I definitely want that to be a thing. But I do think having a grounded place as a child to run around in the woods and play with the dogs out back, you know, feeding bird dogs and mowing the yard. That's a very, very important thing as a kid. So I want to make sure she has that.
Yeah, dude. It's definitely something I know my wife and I, she's sitting over here right now, but we were kind of discussing with like just devices, like and like phones and everything else. I'm like, this summer we're going to have time where they're going to earn it and everything else because they need to get away. Is your girl like that? Or do you make her go outside? You make her do stuff?
We do both, man. I mean, the problem is like sometimes she'll stay home or she's in school, but like the other day we had spring break and obviously like I had to Zoom ride here at the house. So yeah, I mean, she watched like YouTube or not YouTube, like Netflix Kids or whatever. And she'll go outside in the backyard and play for a little while. And her imagination's so good. She can sit there and play Barbies for an hour in the morning. Like that's our thing usually. Like she'll get up in the morning and then for 30 or 40 minutes, I make her like, I don't say I make her, but it's like playing your room time. Like imagination is such a big thing. And I feel like, cause I was one of 4 boys and I feel like you've gotta, when you're one of 4 boys, man, our babysitter, which Lord, you probably get like strung up and thrown out of jail now, but she would lock the fucking door outside. She would kick us outside at like 8 o'clock in the morning, all 4 boys. And we'd be gone until lunch. We'd come in. She'd unlock the door at lunch. I guess she was in there watching TV, dude. I don't know. Like the more I think about it as a kid, I told my mom, I was like, hey, do you know what's her name? Like locked us out for hours at a time. But dude, we'd be back there catching crawfish and messing around and sword fighting with sticks. But I think that's, you only get that one time and it don't last very long. So I think when you're a kid, you need to be a kid.
Oh, definitely, dude. I think about it now. I mean, because definitely it's just different. I mean, when I was 5, 6 years old, I was still playing with neighborhood kids a little bit. Mm-hmm. And now it's like where we live and stuff, we don't really have many kids around. So it's kind of rough. So, and then last year being in home almost for a whole year was rough too. So, yeah. But I know you're a big vinyl record collector, dude. I was reading about that. So I need to know the oldest one you own, your rarest one you own, and maybe your most played. So let's start with the oldest vinyl you own.
Oldest one, man. I got some mono Beatles that I love. I mean, as far as like oldest, I mean, like 64 probably. I mean, I might have. I'm going through because like I got my mom and dad's collection both, but it's like 60s, 70s, 80s.
What got you into vinyl?
Dude, you know, I got into it because I found all my mom and dad's records in a box about when I moved to Nashville. Really, I moved to Nashville and I took their player, and my dad fortunately had some banging ass speakers, so I got those and I got a new player. Like I played a couple gigs, saved some money, got a player, and started collecting records. And it's just fun, man. It was something that I could go do and not spend a lot of money, and it's tons of fun, man. And then you know I got a little more scratch in my pocket here and there, and I got real stoned one night and bought all the mono Beatles, which is like, bought it like primo condition, dude. I've got the best Beatles collection. Like it's awesome. And
I remember finding the White Album. One of my dad's old vinyls. I found his White Album. He was telling me about it. I was like, dude.
Yeah. And then you say, so the oldest, what was the next question?
The rarest one you might own.
The rarest, well, at one time I had Chief and I had Carolina. That was before they did repressings. Dude, I got a hold of one of those motherfuckers and it was harder to find than hen's teeth, dude. I found it. So hard, man. I think I spent $160 on fucking Chief, I think. And
Dude,
now you can get it for $20. I was so bummed out when it went because I thought it was like, hey man, like
well,
ain't
the one
nobody
you
else.
can get now for like 20 is like the 4th pressing. So it's like this guy has, you can tell Church has a marketing degree. Every color you could think of in the rainbow, he's going to release a vinyl on it. So
Yeah, man. And you know, I've got that, and those were probably my rarest at the time until like everybody, like when vinyl really took off, they redid it. You know, I mean, the price of Carolina and Chief both they hit the floor, which good because more people were able to buy the record. But I had those for a while when nobody else had them. I've got some promo, like, you know, like some Jason Aldean, some Blake Shelton promo ones that are kind of hard to find. I've got a Tool 10,000 Days record that's fucking awesome, and you're never going to find another one of those.
awesome.
And like I think it's red.
the
So
old
that
Cheech and Chong ones they're missing the rolling papers. So I asked my dad one time, hey, what happened to these rolling papers and these things? They're like, what do you think happened? So he used to always put the records in the rolling paper sleeve. So you pull the record out and you have the paper right there to roll it with. Like, fucking hilarious.
But it's, you know, it's funny, man. Records are so neat. I love being able to put it on because it's like, you know, I've got my dad's collection. He had like, I remember he has the Pink Floyd collection. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan too. And I remember Dark Side of the Moon, you know, I pulled it out and it still had the stickers. And dad had put, when he was a kid, he had put some of the stickers on the front of the record. But it's neat, man, because that's a memory right there. That's a thing. That's something you can touch that my dad touched when he was, you know, young. And I can put that on, I can put it on and I can hear the dust from my grandparents' house spinning through the record. And to me, there's something about that, man. That's the thing that you can't change. That's the thing that you can't fabricate or fake. And I think that's the thing that we all love about music.
Yeah, man, that is phenomenal, dude. So the other thing I want to talk to you real quick about Saturday or Sunday when I saw you, the guitar you were playing, dude. I don't know if this is the picture of it or not. I don't think it's the same one. But I want to know, before we move on to our next segment, I know we were a little late, so we'll kind of cut this a little short. But I need to know, or want to know, a story about your favorite guitar, how you acquired it, maybe a memory you created with it, or something about it. Because that guitar that I saw you play on Sunday, dude, that thing was just phenomenal.
Dude, thanks, man. It's literally Jonathan Singleton, dude. I've got an old D28, a Martin D28. This is this one right here, and this was actually my dad's. He bought this at Gruen's Guitar in Nashville. He went down there after about 8 months after I was born. He went down there. It's like, I'm gonna buy an old Martin, just a used one. Well, he quickly figured out that old Martins were real expensive and new ones weren't as expensive. And he bought this Martin for like $1,000, whatever, and took it home. And my mom was like, we have a newborn baby, not 10-month-old baby. I'm going to divorce you. It was a big deal. And, but funny enough, man, it was the first guitar I ever played. And my dad gave it to me when I was 16, and it's been around the world. And it is my, I would say, my number one guitar. But funny enough, we were in a boardroom, Jody Williams, driver's dad. We were in his boardroom at BMI playing some songs. And we got back, and one of the people in the meeting was like, hey, Ken, like everything was great, but that guitar, and I love it this way. He's like, our partner was like, you know, that guitar is really loud. Do you have one that's softer we can play in these boardrooms? And I was like, no, we don't. They're like, well, maybe we can like find you like another, like a cheaper or something, or like a Taylor or something like that. And Jonathan looks over and he goes, fuck a Taylor. And he owns Taylor. So he's like, get in the truck. We're going to go. So we went down to Carter's Vintage Guitars here in Nashville. And we walk in, and we were looking for like a little, you know, something I could take on the road. It's beat up, you know, look cool. And I walked over, and like, I didn't even look at the price tag on that Martin right there that you showed the picture of right here, or what? Yeah, right there. Yeah. And I didn't even look at the price tag, and I just knew it was fucking old. And I picked it up, strummed it, and he goes, oh, everything else is out. That's the one. Let's go. And the dude bought it for me right there. And it's a 1944 single lot 18 Martin. And man, it's one of my favorite guitars to tour with. I honestly, I'm down to 2 acoustics. I have this D28 and that single lot, and they're both, man, there's just something, they got mojo, man. Guitars have souls. I genuinely believe that. And these two have good ones. And I'm just blessed to have a friend that believes in me enough that they would do something like that for me.
That's why when I was watching you play, and I was thinking, I was just like, there has to be a story behind that guitar he's playing. And I was like, you know what, this is something I want to start doing this season. I want to start asking people about their favorite guitar and a story, because it was cool. The night church gave me mine. Like we were backstage afterwards, and he was telling me like there's a cigar burn right on the top of it, right where because church used to walk out on stage with a big cigar in his mouth. And I guess a cherry fell off around the lacquer and burned right through it.
Yeah.
And so there's a big old hole in it. So he's telling me about that. He's telling me about the crack above the hole because he used to pound it. He's just telling me stories about this guitar, and I was like, this is really cool because it's like he's giving away like his baby almost because it was his first Hummingbird he had, and I was just like, it was cool to hear the stories he was giving me behind it and stuff. But
yeah, man, those are fun. Those are tough to beat.
Before I move on, I want you to share one more story with everybody in the chat. I was listening today about your first road trip by yourself when you were 16, and and I'd love to have you tell that story real quick for everybody.
Yeah, man. So the Johnny Lang one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, my parents were like, they were great parents. My parents are as good as it gets, and I got my license, and I'm not shitting you, man. Like, got my license on a Tuesday, and that morning, I like full on ready to go. I can go anywhere I want, and I looked at my mom. I was like, "Hey, like online, Johnny Lang is gonna be at the Ryman tonight, like tonight." And like I found one front row ticket, but there's not anymore. Like she couldn't go or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you got your license if you want to go." I was like, "Whoa, what? Okay, I'm doing it." So I got out of school, man, and I got my little blue Blazer, and I busted ass down to Nashville. It's like an hour and 25 minutes. And, went to the Ryman. I'm talking front row, man, right in front of Johnny Lang. And, dude, it was fucking amazing. Reeve Carney was the opener. If nobody's listened to Reeve Carney, you got to, man. The dude is so good. He came out. He actually, I'll never forget, honestly might be the best opening song I've ever heard. The dude came out and did like the front end of Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I'm talking cold, man, cold-blooded. Walked out on stage, plugged his guitar in. Mama, I just killed a man. Like the whole place, the whole Ryman went boom.
Dude.
And I mean, but the thing is the dude's voice is so high, and it's like, and he never went into the what I would call like the cheesy parts of the song, but like he just ended it and segued into one of his songs. And bro, I am telling you, that song, it crushed. Like it still might be. I still get chills thinking about it. Like I've seen Reeve since then, and every time I've ever seen the guy, I've been like, man, best opener I've ever seen. Hands down. And
see.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to. It's on YouTube. You can find it. Reeve Carney, Bohemian Rhapsody, and you'll just be like, "Oh my god!"
Sure.
But I saw Johnny Lang, man, that whole night, and it was just awesome. And 16, dude, I'm like parked in Nashville, trying to get out of Nashville traffic at like 1 a.m. It's like midnight, maybe 1 or whatever. And I get to Bowling Green, I'm like white knuckling it, just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out." And I never did tell my mom because she wouldn't have let me go anywhere after that. But I was like white knuckling it in Glasgow, like just trying to stay awake. But it was that was fun, man. That definitely was it's some crazy. I've had a bunch of situations like that since then.
Always, I mean, it's awesome though that like how you're like, hey, there's one front row. I took it because that was me, dude. When I was younger, if I couldn't find anybody to go with me, or if there's just one ticket, I'm just gonna go, dude. Just go grab one. And I used to always go to concerts by myself because I mean, hey, I get to do what I want to do when I want to do, go wherever I want or whatever, and I don't have to worry about people following me or anything else. But like, hey, I'll be back.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's there's something to it, man. I saw a lot of concerts that way, man.
Yeah,
I saw a shitload of great concerts, and I was in a spread of like Johnny Lang, the Black Crowes, Oasis. Like I saw some shit, man, at the Ryman. There for a while. I haven't been to a concert at the Ryman in probably 10 years, but there for a while, I was crushing it, man.
When you go to a concert, where do you like to sit? Would you like to be in the pit where you're up front to see your favorite band, or are you more kind of like take it back, sit back and take it all in?
Man, I want to be. I'm the guy that sits there with his arms crossed, just soaking it in. I'm like the guy that I hate to see, but I know who that guy is because he's sitting there soaking it all in, and he's like, I will sit there and like it's like I'm listening to a record. I want to listen to every single thing. I want to know what amplifier they're playing, what the bassist is wearing, what the snare mic they've got, what console they're using up front of house. Like it's almost not even fun to go to a concert with me because I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to do shit. I'm going to sit there and watch them do their show and figure out how I can take my favorite parts of that and make it mine. That's exactly what I'm doing every single time.
See, I did that at when I saw Church at Nissan. I got all the way in the back, all the way up top, like the furthest away from the stage. I just sat there and just watched it. Normally I'm front row in the pit, loving it, but I'm like, dude, this is the biggest show he's ever played, the biggest stadium he's ever played. He's headlining it. I want to take it all in. So I like looked to my left. I saw the whole Nashville skyline, like this downtown, and it was just really cool, man. It was a really cool experience. I got a handful of people that followed me up there, and we just had a blast up there.
It's unbelievable, man. Really is. Oh, Reeve Carney. Oh, that's awesome.
Definitely, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, dude, it's great, man. They had a band, and it's kind of like it's rock. It's just rock music, but it's fucking good, dude. Reeve Carney. I think the band's name was Carney, and There She Goes is the song you need to listen to. It's dude, so good, like so good. I'm gonna actually, as soon as we get off this, I'm probably gonna, smoke a bowl and put on some Carney and like do the thing, because God, it's so good, man. It takes me back to being that age, man. It takes me back to being me when I first heard it. And I love listening to music like that.
Well, definitely, dude. Like I'll go back and listen. Yeah, same way, dude. Listen to old music. Or my dad used to tell me he used to listen to Supertramp back in the day. I was like,
yeah.
All right. So we went and saw him probably like mid '90s, I think, or late '90s. It was one of the coolest experiences going to see Supertramp with your dad.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna move on to our next segment real quick. We're gonna play like a 20-second little sponsor ad, pay the bills, and we'll be right back.
This episode is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code?
Fast on Memphis.
Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
Someone in the chat says Darcy says old Supertramp shirt. I mean, I love Supertramp.
Darcy, actually, I want that old Supertramp shirt.
I was trying to get dude on the show, and he just wasn't doing interviews at the time. I'm like, when he is, let me know.
Yeah, no doubt.
So for our Poddex session of the night, so I pulled 2 cards earlier. It's like a little deck of just random questions and stuff. So one of the ones I pulled was, name one thing you did where the risk was well worth the reward.
Moving to Nashville.
Okay.
Scariest damn thing I've ever done, man. It's when you leave that state line, man, wherever you're from, and you move to Nashville, you go from somebody to nobody.
Mm-hmm. And
you just got to be, one thing that I've learned about music and chasing this thing is you have to be damn comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's hard, but I think that same feeling that made me sell an old amplifier I had, pay for my move to Nashville, is the same feeling that I have when I'm trying to write a song for this record, when Jonathan and I are trying to cut songs. I want to be uncomfortable because I'm comfortable with it.
I heard you moved to Nashville with $2,800 and a smile.
That's, man, 28. Actually, after I paid everything off, yeah, that was pretty much it, dude. First month's rent, utilities, deposits, everything. Like, I probably had way less than, I probably had $1,000, $500,000, something like that. And I was going back to Kentucky about an hour up the road, play gigs on Friday and Saturday nights, so I could write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Did you have a day gig at all, or a day job?
No, dude. I was like, I can either get a day gig and not write songs, or I can just scrimp and save and scratch by and write songs. And I was like, I didn't move to Nashville to get a shitty job. I moved to Nashville to write songs. And that's what I did, dude. And I don't know how the hell I did. I don't know if I could do it again. I don't know if I could do what I did again and make it work, because there were so many times where you ain't got nothing, dude. I'm talking like nothing. And you're just like, well, if we can just make it 2-3 more days, I'll have another $100 from this show, and I'll be able to pay my car insurance. Like, or I never was a pawner. I never pawned anything in my life, but there were some days I was like, fuck, dude, we about to have to pawn. So I'd sell a guitar pedal here and there. You know what I mean? Rent's due. We're going to sell this guitar pedal for $150. But yeah, man, it's all scary, but I think that's the fun of it. Ain't nothing fun not scared.
It's living, man, living and learning. I mean, it's life.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's 100% true.
Yeah, you just got to kind of roll the punches and go with it. And I mean, I heard someone say, I don't know where I heard it, but someone said the scariest thing is when we were kids, we thought our parents knew everything, and our parents didn't know shit. They were learning just like we are now. I mean, we're learning every day of our lives, and our kids are looking at us thinking we know everything in the world, and we don't know nothing.
I mean, my little girl said that she said my daddy knows everything, and she's 100% certain that I know everything. And it's just crazy to me because, dude, there's so many days that you know, you go through the ups and downs and you're just figuring it out. But I think the part about being a parent is instilling the belief in your child that you at least know what's best for them. You know, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. That's a tough thing to do because you're sometimes it can be scary, but I think that's the point. Is you're the person that's supposed to be the know-it-all for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, and ain't nobody else gonna be able to answer them questions.
They look up to you and they think you know the world, and I mean, they're looking at you for answers. So, and even though we don't know what we're doing, we got to be quick with those answers and know what to say, man, because they're sponges right now. I mean, everything we do, they're gonna just bring in. So,
yep,
definitely. But all right, our second card: what or who has made the biggest impression on your life in the last year?
In the last year, man, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, I would say COVID in the best way. I've become more patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you ask Jonathan about me, he will say Kenton is the most hyper-focused, narrow, like tunnel visioned, want it so bad he will run through a brick wall to get it guy. And yes, that's me, man. If I get my mindset on something, that's just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the only way I've ever got anything done. And COVID put the brakes on stuff. No matter how much you want it, when you can't leave the house, it don't matter what you do. So you got to be patient. And writing songs, I had to be patient. And I remember talking to Jonathan and Talia at 50 Egg and going, what's this? You know, we've put out 13 songs. Like, what's the next chapter in this book? Because you can't, once you've put out 13 songs, once you put out a record, there's a history there. Like, you can't just make shit up and go be somebody else. That's why people always say your second record's the hardest one. Because you got your whole life to write your first. Your second one, you got to write real fucking fast. And COVID, honestly, man, it allowed me to be patient with the songs and go, okay, what do I want to say in regards to what I've already said? And I asked Jonathan. Jonathan says, man, why don't you go spend some time writing by yourself? And I had nothing but time, man. So I sat down and on this next project, shit, I wrote 4 or 5 songs by myself. And I would get up in the morning with a cup of coffee and I would write a song. And it good, bad, or ugly. And I would say, hey, I'm going to write the best song I could possibly write today. And when the magic's gone, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go play golf. Or I'm going to go run around and get, do whatever I feel like doing. And I did that all year last year. And I felt like I was more hyper-focused being patient than I was when things were full bore, because it was on my rules and I was able to come into everything and look at songs from a micro view and the macro view. I could look at everything and go, is this part of a collection? Yes. Is this a song for me? Yes. Is this what I feel like I want to say? Yes. And if I can answer all 3 of those questions, I feel like I'm doing everything I can possibly do.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. Like, I know Jeff Brown in the chat says that you need to write a book about your vision to make it in this town or in Nashville and everything else. But just your visions in general, dude. I love how deep you are with thinking and everything. I love it, dude. It's been one of my favorite podcasts so far. Just like the deep answers I'm getting and everything.
Oh, so thanks, dude.
A little game real quick. We're going to put 60 seconds, a little sound in the background sound. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. The first thing that pops in your head, just spit it out.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right. Your first CD you ever owned?
Switchfoot.
All right. What's your hometown famous for?
Sucking at football.
What poster was on your bedroom wall in middle school?
No posters.
All right. The strangest thing you've ever seen in the middle of the road?
A weave.
One, one song you wish you wrote.
One song I wish I wrote. Hey Jude.
Oh, nice. What's one thing people buy that you think is a waste of money?
God. Extra pillows on the bed.
Nice. What were you doing exactly a year ago that's different than today?
I was a little more high.
What's the most annoying bill you have to pay?
Annoying bill. God. I'm not a huge fan of the phone bill, man. I just, I don't know why. I'm just not a huge phone bill fan.
The oddest job you've ever taken to earn $1.
Oh God. Now we're getting into some real shit here. No. God, I'm trying to think. Oddest job. I mean, I did some kind of through hay bales in high school sometimes and set tobacco. I mean, setting tobacco sucks. So I'll just say, just because it sucks that much, I'll just put setting tobacco. How about that?
All right. And the last one is just something that's on your bucket list. Maybe a venue you still want to play, or someone you want to write with, or just something you still want to achieve before your career's over.
The Ryman, headline the Ryman.
Nice.
And I really do want to write with Church. I think it's, they always say be wary of writing with somebody, but I think Eric's such a great songwriter, and even if we didn't get a song, dude, I'd just like to get in there and just pick his brain and watch him work. I think that'd be awesome.
The way he writes, dude. I mean, I'm sure Singleton told you heard about his retreat he did last January, where he took like all these writers, banned everything, rented out an old restaurant, and sat in there for 28 days or whatever. I'm like, dude, it's phenomenal to do something like that because you're focused, so focused on stuff like that. I have nothing really else bothering you. I mean, no cell phone, no nothing, and just go to work. And I'm like, I'm excited to see what comes out in a couple weeks from that project. So, and Singleton finally has his first church cut. So,
dude, he was so excited. I was so excited for him. I remember he called me on the way back or something like that. He might have been already back, but he was stoked, dude. Like he came back from that, and he was. I'm not gonna say Jonathan. Jonathan doesn't get nervous because Jonathan's one of the best fucking songwriters I've ever met.
Yeah, he is.
And he's, he's written with Eric a bunch. Dude, I've heard some of the songs they've written, and they're great, man. And I remember he got back, and I think Jonathan was really excited, and I was so proud of him. I know he doesn't need me to be proud of him for anything, but he was really excited, and I was really proud of him because it was something that I felt like he wanted to do, whether he told you he did or not. That was something I think he really wanted to do, and I think he was finally extremely proud of the song that got cut.
Yeah, I know when I had Singleton on, it was shortly after that trip we were talking about. I'm like, dude, I hope you get your first church cut. And then the day that Billboard announced like the track listing and all the songwriters, I screenshot it and text him. I'm like, dude, this is like the happiest day. I'm so proud of you today. I said, just seeing your name on a church album it's a long time coming, dude.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
So we picked a couple songs for you to play. We're going to talk about the first one real quick, and we'll get into that. Since you're gone, I had to pick this one because it's the first one you wrote when you came with Singleton. But tell me about it, man. You talked a little bit. You brought a little bit into it, but where did this song all come from for you?
Man, when you get a write with a guy like Jonathan Singleton and you don't have anything going on, it's your job, man. This is your, as Eminem would say, this is your one shot. You know what I mean? And I was really scared because I knew you have moments like this, man, throughout your life they are literally will change your life, man. And you don't move to town to write shitty songs, and you don't move to town to get in a room with Casey Beathard or Jonathan Singleton or anybody like that and not show them why you spent all that time doing all that crappy stuff. You know what I mean? There's got to be a reason for it. And I had a couple ideas, and I felt like that one was my strongest idea that I had for the day. And I spent a couple weeks kind of getting it right in my head where I wanted, and I said, hey man, that's where I've been going since you're gone. And I kind of had this little, he's like, I love that. And then we sat down and we started working on it together. And the way a good song usually goes for me is it goes and it kind of has its own flow. It might be super fast, it might be super slow, but it's always moving. And with Jonathan, man, we just sat down that day and we wrote the song, and it just flowed so well, and we felt like we were speaking the same language, and you know, it was such a awesome day. I mean, for me, for somebody that's been just a big Jonathan Singleton fan for years at the time, and it was exactly how you would ever want it to go. And I remember leaving that right and just being like, "Dear Lord, thank you." Like, I don't know how I just pulled that off, but thank you. And it was so neat, man. And it's been such a blessing to have that song, because it was a song that kind of, it made him go, "Hey man, I think I want to give this guy a pub deal." And it's a song that you know, we were putting the first EP together. That was what we built the whole damn thing around.
Yeah.
You know, everything was built around that song. The whole that is the first brick of the foundation, and always will be. It's always going to be one of my favorite songs, man. And always is it's going to have such a good feeling. You know, every time I play that song, I smile.
Dude, that is awesome. Well, hey, I'm gonna give you the stage. I'm gonna go away, and dude, I cannot wait to hear this one. I'll be back after this one.
All right, here we go. Here you go, y'all. Since you're gone, I'll take my headphones off. I went back through a stack of old vinyl, found a side that you love to turn off, cranked it up loud and got a little lost. That's where I've been going since you're gone. I've been going through whiskey like water and a little bit of shoebox smoke, to work in church, back home to hurt. That's where I've been going since you're gone. I've been finding myself fishing and wondering, watching headlights pass on drive. I've been praying and hoping and going over you, going over and over. I get in my mind on a nowhere path and get there fast. That's where I've been going since you gone. Yeah, that's where I've been going since you gone. Landed right where you told me to go. Didn't need any help on that. I just had to find a place that's hard to call home, but that's where I've been going since you're gone. I've been finding myself fishing and wondering, watching headlights pass on drive. I've been praying and hoping and going over you, going over and over. I've been in my mind on a nowhere path and get there fast. That's where I've been going since you're gone. Yeah, that's where I've been going since you're gone. Getting midnight drunk at the kitchen, talking to the refrigerator door. That's the only place that I can see your face. That's where I've been going since you're gone. Yeah, I've been finding myself wishing and wondering, watching headlights pass our drive. I've been praying and hoping and going over you, going over and over. I get in my mind on a nowhere path and get there fast. That's where I've been going since you're gone. Yeah, that's where I've been going since you're gone. That's where I've been going since you're gone. There you go.
Yeah, dude. I love that one, dude. That's one of my
Thanks,
favorites.
man.
I could love it because you could definitely, like I said, you could feel the Singleton, but you could feel it. I mean, it's yours, dude. And that's what I love about it. Just rock comes out of it a little bit too, dude. I cannot wait to see that with the band, dude. I'm gonna check that out when you guys. I'm gonna see where this show is in Indiana next week.
North Vernon, man. It's about 30 minutes north of Louisville. Like, it's between Louisville and Indy on 65.
It's out of my driving range for next week.
I get it.
I'm in so I'm between Chicago and Milwaukee, so not too far, but we'll get you up here soon.
Nah, nice, man.
Well, definitely, because we just started opening up like 2 weeks ago or so, which is nice. About time.
Hey man, I don't want to stop you. You got a little reverb, little feedback going on. I don't know if anybody else is hearing it over here. Just for your podcast, I just want to make sure you got a little feed. There you go. You're better now.
Do you hear it on your end at all? Okay.
Oh, no, there it is.
Okay. That's looking. I think. All right. We'll figure that out. That's why I love doing this live, because then I throw it on, master it, mess with the levels a little bit, and it sounds great. I upload it.
That's what it is, man.
So this Friday, dude, you're dropping something really cool. Let's talk about it. Tell me about this song, where it came from, and how excited you are about it.
You know, earlier I was talking about, being patient, man, being patient with songs. And last year during COVID, I had an idea for probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. I remember sitting here and going, covered in dirt till you're covered in dirt. And I was like, that is everything that I am, man. That's everything Glasgow, Kentucky. That's everything about any small town in America. And I started thinking about the idea and working on a little bit here, working on a little bit there. And, I called my buddy Wyatt McCubbin, who just signed over 50 Egg. And Wyatt and I have written a lot of songs together. And he's probably one of my favorite people in the world. And I said, Wyatt, I got this idea called Covered in Dirt till you covered in dirt. And he goes, man, I love that. And he's honestly, man, Wyatt reminds me so much of Jeff Hyde. They write a lot of the same thing. They laugh about the same stuff, and they'll show you the same Three Stooges video every single time. And
I got that vibe from him on Sunday.
Yeah, man. And I told him the idea, and we started talking. I said, man, the song is about the people, the places, the memories, the experiences that made you who you are. That's the dirt on your soul. And he goes, I love it. Let's write that. And we sat down, because I think you heard the other night, man, Wyatt had really, really bad internet up until he had bad internet. So he said, man, I can't Zoom, but I can get on, and we can speakerphone. So we sat down on speakerphone, man. And again, I talked about magic in Nashville. This is Nashville magic. We sat down on speakerphone on a Tuesday afternoon, I think, and wrote this song. And I remember finishing it up and writing the last verse to the song. And I got done and said, Wyatt, I think we wrote a great song today, buddy. And he goes, I think we did too. And I remember sending it to Jonathan. Jonathan was like, that is a fucking hammer. And it's been such a cool song. For me, that's just when the work starts. We wrote the song, and then Jonathan and I get in there and we do our thing. And this was when COVID was hot. So Jonathan and I were bouncing tracks back and forth. We did it. We recorded the song, and Jonathan does a lot of the, he produces and he plays drums and bass, and sent it over, and I did the guitars here at the house and sent it back. Then COVID kind of slowed down a little bit in the late summer, and when I was singing the vocal on it. Yeah, man, it is it's a hammer. It's a kick you in the damn teeth song. But I feel like that's what a first single always needs to be. It needs to be, It needs to set the tone for the collection of songs. And I feel like this one sets the tone for not only this collection of songs, it sets a tone for the next chapter of me. And I'm really, really excited to show it to you guys.
So you think in 2021 you'll get the whole album out, or another EP? What are you looking at?
Man, we're looking at, yes is the answer. I think, I wish I could say, hey, it's going to be a record and I'm big enough to drop a record, but people are still finding out who I am. People still want to know. People still consume singles from new artists. And we're dropping this one. We might drop one or two more. And if people are really begging for the rest of it, we've got 8 cut, 9 cut, something like that.
Nice.
And if people are really begging for it, man, we'll drop them all and do it again. That's the beauty of writing songs. I can do it anytime, any place, man. I got some buddies that love to write songs, and ain't nothing makes me happier than calling my friends and going, hey, man, let's work on a new project.
Hell yeah, dude. It's always fun with that. Well, guys, let's do this. Covered in dirt. I'll go ahead and take this off and hide myself for a minute. All right, y'all.
All right. Here we go. Grow up barefoot, raising hell in the backyard, turning dad a grave, making mama work hard to keep white on a shirt. Covered in dirt, you Turn 16, get a set of keys to a set of wings. Shine it on up, pick her up just to get the thing back where you were. Covered in dirt, 'cause it's down in your soul. All over the roots of your hometown, down in your bones, where your mind goes when it goes down. Every back road, every memory, everywhere you've been, where you wanna be, around here and you live your life covered in dirt. Do you covered in dirt? You can pack a dream in a bag, point your wheels toward the big lights, try to wash it off of your heart at the county line, but that ain't how it works, 'cause you're still covered in dirt. Yeah, it's down in your soul, all over the roots of your hometown, down in your bones, where your mind goes when it goes down. Every back road, every memory, everywhere you've been, where you wanna be, around here and you live your life covered in dirt. So you're covered in dirt. Yeah, it's down in your soul, all over the roots of your hometown, down in your bones, where your mind goes when it goes down. Every back road, every memory, everywhere you've been, where you wanna be, around here and you live your life covered in dirt. You covered in dirt. You ain't the first or the last link in the chain. All the red blood running through your veins came from stones on a hill with the same last name. Covered in dirt.
Dude, that song, dude, I cannot wait to be able to pick that up on Friday. But midnight Thursday, I gotta make sure I'm up and grab that song, listen to it all the way on the way to work on Friday. Dude, I'm excited to just probably as much as you are for that song on Friday to drop and for everybody to actually get some new music out of you. Because I gotta give a huge shout out to my buddy Thomas Dunham out there, because he has been preaching your name for the last couple of years, dude, and definitely been pushing it on us and everybody in the church choir and everything else. I'm so glad I was able to have you tonight, so everybody would actually be able to put a face with the name and everything else, man. But thank you so much for joining and hanging out with me tonight. Any final words before we wrap up? And
yeah, man, there's a whole lot I could say, but I think it all really boils down to, guys, I sincerely appreciate you listening to music. I sincerely appreciate you tuning in and listening. Aaron, thank you so much for having me, man. You did not have to do this. And, if you'd have told the kid at 6, 7 years old that was starting to write songs, they'd be able to get on podcasts and people would want to listen to music, I'd say that I made it, man. And even if I don't feel like I've made it, it sure feels, it would make that 6, 7 year old me super stoked. And I just appreciate you guys for all the support and thanks for joining on the ride, man.
Dude, thank you so much for spending some time. Go ahead and take like a 15-minute break or so. I'll send you a message and we'll bring you back for the after show, man. We'll get 3 more songs and you guys don't want to miss this one. So yeah, go ahead and grab a drink or something. Take 15 minutes, dude, and I'll email you and when we bring you back. So probably like 8:30ish or so.
Great to meet everybody. Hope you see you guys soon.
Dude, thank you so much for joining us, man. We'll talk soon.
See you guys.
All right, guys, another amazing show tonight. Let's see. All right, bring you up on here. You have fun? Even though you jumped on that audio, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun one.
No, it was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could tell he was a proud dad too. I like talking to him about his daughter too. She said 5, so it was definitely awesome. If you guys are looking where to find Ken anywhere, look in the show notes. All of his Instagram, his Facebook, everything you can find is in there. Yeah, I think we're good. Sorry for running late, a little over tonight. I know we started a little late. We had a little audio we're working out, but we had a good chat going on. So you have to run a little bit over. If you guys are looking to join in for the last 3 songs, check out our in the comments or the show notes, I should say, our Patreon link. You can go ahead and jump on that. We're going to do it about 8:30 tonight. We're going to come back live. So about 12 minutes, 11 minutes or so. We'll be live on our private Facebook group. But if you jump in on the Patreon, we'll get you in there. I'll try to get you in there for live. If not, I'll get you right after we're done. You can watch the after show then. But yeah, other than that, thank you for joining us tonight on episode 77 with Ken and Brian. Watch out for Ken, man. He is on the rise and quick. I can't wait to see where his career will take him. Make sure to download it, Covered in Dirt, this Friday, April 2nd. Ken will be coming back to join us, like I was just saying, on the after show in about 10 minutes or so. So sign up on Patreon. We'll get it. You'll also be entered into that little giveaway we have every month too. So that's always a good time. But yeah, so we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. If not, we'll see you next week. We have an amazing show next week, Tuesday, April 6th. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
The Gain and Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver is brought to you by Arlo Revolution. As we close the book on another chapter, remember, music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Next week, Aaron connects more melodies and memories with other fans and the artists they love. Thanks for being a part of this musical journey, and we'll see you next time on the Gain and Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver.